Life of a door knocker can be tough. Having doors slammed in your face on a daily basis, people not exactly hearing what you have to say.
What?
Not the most friendly customer.
Not interested. Now get the off my property, and by the way, go get a real job.
The good news is, it doesn't have to be that way. Welcome to the Door-to-Door Mastery Podcast, where it's all about increasing your confidence, building rapport with your customers, and closing more sales. Here is your host, Paul Shakuri.
Hello, my door-to-door fans, and welcome. We are on episode number 8. I'm super pumped, excited to bring this information to you so that you can go out there and close more sales, because that's what the Door-to-Door Mastery Podcast is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go over weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, how to track your progress, door knocking, closing ratio, and all the good stuff to help you close those freaking deals at the door. So patience, you really need to learn it. And believe me, when you actually learn and understand patience in anything you do in life. Now, specifically in this podcast, I'm going to relate it to door-to-door sales. And if you're listening to this already and you're going in the back of your mind like, oh, another podcast or another thing about, staying focused and goals. Well, I can already tell you from the bottom of my heart, you're more than likely not where you want to be right now in any given time. I promise you, it's just how we are as humans and the way our mind works, and we really have to set goals, track them. We need to work at them when we don't feel like working, or we're kind of feeling down and we don't quite want to get ourselves to that next level because we're like demotivated. All right, my door-to-door salespeople, demotivated, huh? Does that sound familiar? Well, when you're demotivated, it's because you lost track of your goals. That's it. Bottom line, you lost track of your goals. Let's think about this one for a second. So, I want to get up and knock and, close 3 sales today, which is what I had in the back of my mind yesterday before I went to sleep. However, I had a rough night and I couldn't get to bed, and, let's just say, fought with the family and things didn't go my way, and it's one of those days. So you go to sleep, you wake up a little bit longer than you should have, a little bit later than you should have. And when you wake up a little bit later than you should have and things aren't quite going your way, you're fumbling out of bed and yada, yada, yada. Well, have you had any of these days? I know you have. No matter where you live, humans, we're all programmed in the back of our mind. We're all programmed in a certain specific way. So you can break and change that programming, that mental programming. You can change it. However, when you wake up and you're having that day and you're kind of like, I don't quite feel like, going out today. What are you focusing on? You're focusing on not quite going out today and all the negative things that are happening. Now, this is in no means easy. I understand. You're going to wake up, you're going to feel bad. I even get those days, those weeks, those months where it's like nothing's working. You're not taking yourself to that next level. But are you really reflecting yourself back upon all the things you should be grateful for? Now, this isn't just another, podcast about the boring stuff that don't make sense as to why you're not closing sales, okay? Understand, every single thing that I speak about on this podcast is not a waste of your freaking time to closing more sales, selling door to door. How exciting is that? How much energy am I driving through your ears right now so you can go out there if you're in the middle of the day or you're listening to this in the morning? I hope this is the most downloaded podcast so that when you're thinking of not going out there and writing, that you have Paul in the back of your ears, in your earbuds saying, you know what? Let me think about my goals. How many deals did I say I wanted to close this week? This is what happened when I would wake up with these days. I would shake it off, go outside, grab a cup of coffee. A lot of people like Red Bulls or whatever it is. You just have one of those. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of where you're at. Okay, if you're feeling down, you're feeling negative in that current place, whether it's your kitchen, whether it's your backyard, whether it's your house, get the freak away from there. Get in your car, drive to the gym, and just sit outside in your car, whatever it is. Okay. That's why it's important to actually wake up a lot earlier before, your 1 o'clock meeting or 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock meeting, ladies and gentlemen. You need to seriously wake up at a specific set time to when you're actually out there and ready to get out and knock. So my cousin's just calling me right now and I'm on the air. And he just wants me to say hello. Anyways, but that's how unscripted these podcasts are. I hope they can't see with any reflections there. No name. Anyways, so the big thing is, what are your weekly goals? What are your actual daily goals? What do you want to set up? What do you want to accomplish? So when you're actually out there and you're feeling down, you're feeling like, you know what? I don't really want to go out and close that next sale because this is the way I feel today and tomorrow's going to be another day. Well, BS, you know as much as I do. And do I need to spell BS for you folks? BS, bull, beep. I should have one of those little, on my little soundboard here, that little beep thing, because maybe you'll understand more how serious I really am about this stuff. I was a top salesperson month after month, week after week, not my first 4 months in. It was probably around the 6 month, half a year period of time to where I was actually in my mental mindset of, and said to myself, Paul, you're complicating this whole process more than it really needs to be. Bottom line is, what do you want to accomplish this week? What do you want to accomplish this year? And what are you willing to do to get it? You see, the majority of people, they master in minor things. And what do I mean by that? Well, Tony Robbins, I picked that up from him. And what he means is, and what I mean by this is, if you're going to go out there and you're seriously going to just think every single day is just another day, that's going to become less and less motivating for you to go out and close another sale or work hard towards closing that other sale. So I was 6 months in, and when I started realizing, dude, I've gotten like hundreds of sales already. If not, I probably hit my 1,000 mark, and I'm still feeling the same way as I did, the last month, the same week. I wonder if I'm going to get a sale today. How many of these customers have called me back and said, Paul, thank you so much. This product that you've installed, and it was a home security at the time, or, now that the electricity and natural gas has skyrocketed up even higher, thank you for coming and not forcing us, but, helping us make the educated decision, because I hope you understood what I just said there. Helping the homeowner making an educated decision instead of pushing them to get the sale, because that's what's going to get you referrals later on down the road. If you push them, nobody likes to be pushed these days. Especially with all the research that they can go out there and actually do. They can go out there and do the research really quick to find out if what you're offering them is a good deal or not. That's the only difference between today and yesterday door knocking. People say, is cold calling dead? Is knocking on doors, does it work anymore? Does it not work? Absolutely it works. Human interaction, social engagement. When you show up to the door and you're a person who they trust and like, and they've remotely thought of your product, and now you've educated them, you are the person who educated them, just like my whole door-to-door mastery program, right? Why have a lot of you taken me up on that offer already? Why? Because you've trusted in me, right? You like what I'm saying. You like the information I'm bringing. So I've built enough value. And for some of you still, I haven't built up enough value to the point where, you really need to take action to get in my membership area. People ask me, Paul, is that really just a sales pitch, or is it going to go up? No, it is going to go up. The price of the membership area is going to go up. And I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but I'm again going to relate it back to the whole door-to-door sales. It's going to go up as the more people I have watching that membership area, and as I finish it and complete it, there's a lot of videos in there right now, everything you pretty much need to close more sales right now. But as I build it and I make it a lot more, user-friendly and all that stuff, I have to charge more, because the server fees, and what you guys don't realize is there's a lot of fees that are involved in maintaining that stuff. There's a lot of different fees that I have to cover. So the people who get into the membership area, right now, they get to secure that unlimited lifetime membership to the door-to-door mastery program at the inexpensive price at what it's at today. And I don't want to say it, today in hindsight, because tomorrow, and whenever you listen to this, it may go up the price because it has already been done. But, if you're really looking to expand your sales ability, the amount of sales you get, your closing, you can do it on your own. You don't need me nor the program. However, I can only get you there in literally 1/18 of the time because I've gone through all the emotions. I've learned the small little minute details that I can't really explain here. In the membership area, I actually go through it on an actual whiteboard or even on a screen capture that you see me writing it out and drawing it, and it's nice and laid out clean and clear for you there, because these are the types of things that I have to show you. So you actually get to see me drawing it physically on screen. These homeowners, this one, this person wasn't here, yada, yada, yada. And I go in and break the details down. Okay. Having said that, let me hit this.
Strategically designed with the door knocker in mind. Best door knocking tips and advice at doortodoormastery.com.
In my own opinion, I really believe that this is the best door knocking advice. People come up with, and even when I was knocking on doors, companies gave me these manuals on, how to knock on doors and what to say and all this stuff. But it was so scripted. It's not free flowing. It's not real. That stuff doesn't work. I studied it inside out. Okay. Well, when you knock on a door, present yourself, be square and position yourself to the door like this. And it doesn't work. It does not work, okay? 99% or 90% is just a big number, okay, of whether you get the sale or not is not what you say. It's how you present yourself and how you say it, how you present yourself. But how do you get yourself to that level? How do you, really start wanting to work in those deals and close more sales? And how do you get yourself to that level? Well, you have to, like in module 1 of my membership area, I talk about setting your goals up, how to do them, and, really how to hit them and how to write them down and think about everything. I go through all that. You need to know and understand your actual weekly goals. So, for example, I say today and this week I'm going to get, 10 sales, 15 sales, whatever it is for you. I really set my goals personally because I was doing a year-round program after my first 4 months at, 10 minimum. I wanted to get 10 sales minimum. And if I got 10 sales minimum at a minimum of this amount of money, that would mean I would have this amount of money, that would go on my paycheck, and that would equal this. So when I wrote this down, guess what? When I had those negative days, those down days, what was the first thing I thought of? Paul, where are you at with your weekly goal? Where are you at for your daily goal? Clearly it's 0 because it's before the start of the day. Or if I've been knocking for the first 2 hours and I still haven't gotten a sale, I look back and reflect. I go, okay, I got 3 on the week already. It's a second day. And now, today I have to get 10, 9, 8, 7. So which means 7 more deals left. If I were to crush 3 more out just today, I'm almost there and I don't have to slack, but that means I can go back and expand upon my goals. If you're not thinking like this and you're not talking to yourself mentally, pumping yourself up and motivating yourself, forget knocking on those doors. Don't do it. Go get a 9 to 5. Door knocking is for the strongest people who can mentally stay focused. And when they get down, because even I get down, or, the top salespeople at your office feel or get down at times, ask them. They do. It's what they do, that's different than the average Joe with what they do to steer away from pushing themselves into knocking on that actual door. Do you know how many business owners are actually out there since the collapse in the economy in America? Do you know how many business owners are actually out there knocking on doors? Do you know how many actual companies I have, in the members area that are watching my videos and actually absorbing it and even showing it to their sales reps? Do you know how many people are actually doing that are business owners knocking? So what gives you the excuse to say to yourself, I can't quite go out there and do this? This is motivation. This is you getting yourself to that next level. Again, I teach this on the show, on the air all the time. What are you working towards? How big does your bank account look? Where are you at for your weekly goals? Set weekly goals every single week. If you're not doing it, forget it. Forget it. You're not going to be successful. You can be stubborn as much as you want. Go behind my teachings. I'm teaching you what works. I'm teaching you not only what works for me, but the people I've actually taught one-on-one or actually taught for other companies. It exponentially grew their sales just by changing small little things. And it may not seem like, it really does work, but if you implement it, you can only be the judge. And I promise you, it will. Okay, so long as you implement it and you keep doing it over and over and over again. So how do you track your progress? I love talking about closing ratio. When we start off as door knockers, there are very few, like my neighbor, for example, which I've mentioned in previous episodes. But anyways, my neighbor, he started off his first week making close to $2,000 a week. Is it possible with door-to-door sales? Think you should on the introduction, the guy says, "Now get off my property and go get a real job." Well, he kind of swears in there, but we beeped it out. That's like literally the truth. You can go out there and make a ton of money if you do what's right. Now, that was highly unlikely. Like, it's crazy. Maybe because, he was my neighbor and he saw me driving the nice 750 BMW Li and all this other, my own 4,000 square foot house. Again, not to brag, I'm saying it, but maybe he saw all this and saw that, it was just my wife and I at the time with no kids in this huge house. And he was like, "Dude, what do you do besides from, selling something?" I'm like, "I don't do anything illegal. I knock on doors, but I'm mentally focused and prepared more than anybody." He goes, "Yeah, but I want to be just like you." I'm like, "Great. Well, if you want to be just like me, do what I do and come work with me and for me." Because at the time I was managing, I think about 130, 120 sales reps at that time. When I had that team, there were people every single day, the same type of people. And if you're listening to the show, which I hope you are, it would drive me crazy. It's like, you're not motivated. You want to be motivated, but you're not motivated. Nor do you take the education that I'm giving you to implement it and use it to your advantage. Well, it comes down to how bad do you really want to see your account grow. Again, I keep saying I day trade. Seeing the account grow, it's the best feeling. And if you're watching this on YouTube, because I actually have the video podcast of this as well, you can see my face. It's literally the best feeling in the world. Now, I respect, just like in my last blog post at doortodoormastery.com, I respect every single door. I respect every single customer, every single person that does business with me who understands what I'm bringing. I don't have to do these podcasts. I choose to. I enjoy it because in a podcast, what people always tell me, they're like, "Paul, just by your podcast, I feel like I know your personality. I know who you are. It's like we got this personal connection." And, you talk about all these different types of things you like. And I've already gotten people messaging me saying, "Paul, I day trade too. What type of stocks did you invest in this week?" It's like, wow, there's more door knockers that are actually investing in the stock market. Be very careful. And I'm in no place to give any advice about day trading just quite yet. In over a month, I'm literally like down about $100 in this market learning, but being down only $100, and looking at, again, tracking your progress. How is this relating to door-to-door sales? I started off with kind of going, a little bit down, a little bit down, a little bit down, taking my losses, very quick. But then what I've noticed was I corrected and changed what wasn't working. I didn't focus on these negative losses. I focused on, what am I going to do different? What am I doing wrong? How can I change what I'm doing wrong and, progress from here? So I looked and I said, what I'm doing is I'm getting in a little bit too late. So where the stock is going, I'm getting right, because I looked at all my trades. I said, where I'm going with the stock is going, I'm getting right, but my entry and exit points are wrong. So let's pull back in time. So anyways, I did a couple of things and bam, right away I'm seeing today, this week, I posted on Twitter, and you guys can @PSHAK, add me to Twitter if you want. I talk about day trading, door-to-door mastery, and all my stuff. I update there. But I actually I had a 7-2, I think 7-3 win this week, and it's a completely different. Next week, the market's gonna humble me. I respect every single gain I get. I respect every single loss I get. It's hard to see losses. It's hard to stomach it, but that's the benefits of knocking on doors and making a bunch of money with this. Why? You can, just like Kevin O'Leary, for those of you Shark Tank, those of you who like Shark Tank, which I love that show. Kevin O'Leary always says, send your soldiers out and let your soldiers, which is your money, bring you back more. And it's true. That's what I wanted from door-to-door sales from the beginning. My first year, I wanted to make a 6-figure income. I said, why would I settle for any less than a 6-figure income if I'm going to go out there and knock on doors in the heat or in the cold in Canada? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to open up a company. I'm going to do this and lead by an example. And that's what I did. But how many of you are really willing to listen, trust, go through the emotions, and really fight through the hardest of times? Because knocking on doors is like an airplane that's taken off. You use the most amount of fuel in the beginning, and then after you actually learn and you know how to do it, guess what? You start getting better and better and you start coasting, but you increase the amount of doors you knock on because your closing ratio is way less. Your closing ratio, you talk to less people to close more sales, which is my ultimate goal, from this whole podcast and this whole, program, door-to-door mastery program I set up. That's what my ultimate goal is for you, because that's how you exponentially grow your account. Let's hit this.
DoorToDoorMastery.com, your source of motivation, information, and inspiration to closing more sales. Selling door to door, that's DoorToDoorMastery.com.
It really is. It really is. DoorToDoorMastery.com. It's really your source for information. I went and took a look at some other people's door-to-door stuff that they have online. That may be the reason why I'm extremely successful is because, I'm transparent, I'm open, I am who I am. My cousin calls me on the air. I show that. It's like, I'm not fake. I am who I am. I don't care. People who want to do business with me, people who want to interact with me, I love, respect, and enjoy that. People who, don't want to take this serious, door knocking, don't do door-to-door sales. Don't. Quit. People at my company who know me, who are listening to this right now, because a lot of the people at my company who are listening say, that's how I am. You don't want to do this job, leave. There are companies out there that'll hold on to stragglers. Don't hold on to stragglers if you own your own company. The number one thing I first of all talk to business owners who have salespeople who normally consult with me, they say, Paul, how do I have a successful door knocking team? Well, the number one key thing that I always tell them is you find the right people and don't be afraid to lose. Now that goes for business owners. And that also goes for actual door-to-door salespeople. Don't be afraid to lose what you do not have. Okay? For you door knockers out there, if you're listening, obviously you're listening to this, but door knockers, don't be afraid to lose that customer who's kind of remotely not really interested in doing business with you. So what do I mean by that? So Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, does this make sense how, this can actually help, your home, help whatever your product is? Yeah, absolutely. I can see that, but we just don't have the time for it or the money. You don't have the time. I basically, in the back of my head, no, I understand. Everybody's time is very valuable these days. As a matter of fact, I have 3 of your neighbors that are really interested that I'm going back to because, their spouse just came home here within the next half an hour. So I'll make it really quick. Literally, it'll take me about 5 to 10 minutes. Do you have a table that I can just sit down at? Oh, no, we don't want to. Okay, I thought they said they don't have the time. Okay, rebuttals, I'm going to get into in another podcast, but rebuttals and even in the membership area, get into the extreme details in that thing. Yes, you got to pay if you want the premium stuff, okay? Throw me a freaking bone here. My whole goal is to obviously, make a huge six-figure income with this whole door-to-door mastery program. Yes, I want to make a lot of money, but in return, I want to give you guys and provide the quality of information that you deserve. Stop and think about this on my perspective. So right now, the door-to-door membership area is ridiculously inexpensive. Okay. So those people who get in on my lifetime membership, how inexpensive is it for you? You go out there, you learn from all the videos that I have in the membership area, and I'm even going to be holding, just so you know, live webinars for those people as well. But the membership area itself, how inexpensive is it for you? If it were to help you close remotely, even just one sale, okay? It's ridiculous. Like it's one sale in your lifetime of knocking on doors. Well, don't you think, number one, it would pay off tenfold for you? Obviously it would. You would gain back the money you made on the actual membership area itself. And then in return, on the opposite side, you would have that information that you can go and close more and 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 more sales. So where I'm getting at this, I'm relating it back to you. This isn't just a sales pitch, but what it does is you will see value in it. It'll help your life. It's very inexpensive for you, but I have a lot of people who are getting my membership area, which makes me money. And in return, I spread the actual wealth where I can actually hire other people to do the stuff that I don't like doing, like the graphics design and all this other crap that, I'm stuck dealing with. I want to push it towards that. So that hires somebody else who then goes and pays their family. This is what the economy is all about, okay? Growth. So you make money, you spend money, you invest it back in your business and into the stock market. I lose on some trades. Somebody else has my money. Now they got some of my money. They go and they spend it on cars or whatever. They go and spend it on food. They spend it on their kids, yada, yada, yada. And it keeps going on. Well, that's how you got to think when you're knocking out there. You're giving your customer a product, a service, something that benefits them. They have to see the value. When they see the value and they decide to do business with you, at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for them, for you. So how do you track that? Number one, you write down on a piece of paper how many homeowners you want to talk to in any given day. You have to be out there hustling to talk to a minimum of 25 homeowners or 25 of your potential customers. What do I mean by that? In the security field, in solar, you want to be dealing with the homeowner. If you talk to someone who's renting and they're not a qualified person that you can close, that does not count as one person towards the 25. However, if they say, yeah, I'm the homeowner, and you don't close them, cross off number 25. You got 24 more people to talk to. Does that make sense? Watch what happens when you start doing that stuff. I promise you, if you start doing that, you will start to see your sales increasing. That's just one way, one small way that you can help take your knockability to the next level. Knocking on doors is fun if you make it fun, if you know how to close more sales. Hey, thank you very much for sticking through to episode number 8. I'll see you and, well, your ears, right, in the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Knock with passion.
You have been listening to the Door to Door Mastery Podcast. It is time for you to take your door knocking to the next level. Receive Paul's free video series teaching you how to master your opener pitch, understanding your features and benefits, and knowing when and how to close the sale. Be a successful door knocker. Be there now. DoorToDoorMastery.com. That's DoorToDoorMastery.com.